We are at war. This war has been raging for millennia. But our generation might be the generation that can win the final battles, end the war, and rein in a new era. This war is not a war between tribes or countries. It is not a civil war among citizens. Perhaps at this point in history, we are at the final moments of this war. I am very optimistic that it will be over soon, perhaps in your lifetime. But for this long and perilous war to finally end, it requires the full and utter united cooperation of all humans across the entire planet Earth. We all have a common enemy that we must defeat. Our victory will bring life, light, and prosperity to many human generations, thousands or even millions of years into the future. We must recognize what it is that we as humans truly stand for. We cannot be in disagreement or misalignment about this. It starts with you. You within yourself must be fully aligned and integrated. While it is ultimately your choice, you will be recruited in this war and have only a few viable alternatives to avoid this war entirely. Once every human is aligned within him or herself, yes, this war will require not just men but also women and children on its front lines. It is a brave new world, and our old conceptions and models of the world will be completely overhauled by this war. Much of what you think you know will soon be history. But every human across the globe who is fully aligned and has recognized what he or she truly stands for, this individual will then be required to join our forces. It is only through the full and utter commitment of the individual that we can collectively fight this war and defeat the enemy. If we stand up and fight for our values and for that which we truly stand for, we can, as a global human race, align ourselves and strategically take out the enemy. Our enemy takes many forms, and it will require many battles. No two battles will be alike. There will be many victories in the years ahead, and we need every single human on this planet to do his or her best to contribute to victory after victory. Now, you might be starting to wonder who the enemy is. Who are we fighting against? This is a battle of the light against the dark. And that is where the war begins. You can only recognize the enemy once you have identified what you stand for. You must recognize that the one thing that unites us all is life. We must fight to have every human's basic needs met so that every human on earth can rise up to his or her full potential. We must ensure the complete and utter health of every human. That means both physical and mental health. Only when we have an advanced human whose basic physical survival needs are met and he or she has shelter and all the necessities of life, and if this human is also able to maintain excellent physical and mental health, only then is this human fit to fight our war. Recognizing and identifying these core values which we all stand for is our first step. The next step is to recognize and identify the enemy. That makes the first enemy in our war that you must know and must be aware of, and that you must protect yourself against: unconsciousness. Lack of awareness is the enemy. Not knowing is the enemy. Ignorance is the enemy that can cost you your health and your life. Life and health is what we stand for and what we fight for. Remain aware of that at all times, and don't let the evil propaganda machine of unconsciousness tell you otherwise. To fight unconsciousness, we need any aligned humans who deem themselves fit to unite as the bringers of light. Those who make the unconscious conscious. Those who want to ask questions, the thinkers, the researchers, scientists and philosophers. We need you to bravely dive into the unconsciousness and make it conscious. You are at the frontier. You are our spies. You are the ones who discover uncharted enemy territory and who can give us valuable insight and intelligence about the enemy's activity and its plan of attack. Your work is crucial in planning our next steps at the immediate front lines. Your work is crucial to give us a path forward and to expand into the enemy territory. You point out how much we don't even know yet. You tell us that which we are still unaware of. You show us our greatest weaknesses. You are at the frontier, one step ahead of the first line of defense in our war. Every human has a responsibility to fight this battle within him or herself, to bring consciousness to yourself, complete and utter self-awareness. As we discover more unconsciousness and make it conscious, we need all the aligned and integrated educators of the world, the teachers, reporters, influencers, and persuaders to deliver all the necessary and relevant information about the enemy up and down our chain of communication, so that every human becomes fully aware of that which they are still unconscious, so that every human can align themselves and join our ranks. Use all means necessary to inform and educate every human on this planet about the unconsciousness we have discovered. Do not let ignorance win this battle. Now, due to the heroic work of those who came before us, many of them fallen heroes, some barely remembered, we have already been able to specify many of our battlegrounds. Through bold actions taken in the past and through fearless penetration of the unconscious, we have identified that the light side is fighting for life and consciousness. We have also recognized that consciousness is inevitably linked to free will and individuality. The light side is fighting for survival, health, knowledge, freedom, prosperity, and the pursuit of happiness. Our enemy, the dark side, however, represents everything that will kill us. Unconsciousness, death, disease, loss, ignorance, poverty, pain, and suffering. We must expand the territory of the light side and cannot let the dark side restrict us. We must remain aligned and integrated and cannot let chaos throw us into disorder. However, before proceeding, we recognize that within this polarity lies a paradox. We recognize that we make the choice to fight against death and for life. The only way to not participate in this war would be suicide. Every year, millions of humans are being taken by the dark side in all of the many forms it takes. Billions of years ago, for reasons yet unknown, the first light has risen from the dark. We recognize that although we came from the dark, we shall bring light into the dark. We shall bring light into the dark because we came from the dark. We need to align. By aligning yourself, you align yourself with us, with the light side, with life. Your alliance will help us in our global cooperation in our fight against death and disease. You can pick any battle you want because after all, the light side gives you freedom of choice. Just know that you are always going to be fighting for life and against death, for health and against disease. There are an infinite number of ranks and duties in this war, professions that you can choose from. You can identify and solve problems. You can find ways to effectively fulfill the needs of life and the needs of humans. You can heal life mentally and physically, or you can eliminate diseases and find cures. You can work on delivering those products and services that enhance life to as many humans as possible. You can spread light and consciousness. You can research, discover, experiment, educate, inform, produce, sell. You can serve the light side in any capacity you want. Your actions will not go unappreciated. Every single action you take will have a meaningful impact in this war if you fully align yourself. When this war is over, all humans will be bathing in light. There will be no dim, depressed human who is barely alive, barely living up to his or her potential. Every human will be fully conscious and enlightened. Every human will be aligned against the dark side. Every human will be able to live perpetually healthy, both physically and mentally. Every human will be immortal if he or she chooses to be. Our human race will not only live on other planets, life will spread beyond our solar system. Life will take control. We will enlighten the entire galaxy and eventually the entire universe. We will spread light into the darkest corners of this universe. This is what victory looks like. Victory is our destiny. Time and space are on our side. With the universe on our side, we were granted permission to tap into its powers if we do so consciously and with constant awareness of our highest values, especially health and balance. The universe gifted us with matter. Matter gifted us with life. Life gifted us with consciousness. We shall make the best use of our consciousness and spread life throughout this entire universe out of pure love for life, light, and the universe. Love is our highest value that unites all life in the universe. Hate is the enemy. We will penetrate and fill the entire universe with its own love. This war needs you, and love is your weapon. Find love in every action you take. Find love in every tool you use. Love this war, and all your wishes will come true.